Amazing. Hi, Randy. Good to see you. All right, we're going to call to order the meeting of the Municipal Heritage Committee at 4:34 p.m. Awesome. First on our agenda is the adoption of the agenda. There's a recommendation that the agenda of the Municipal Heritage Committee dated September 9th, 2025 be approved as circulated. Can I have a mover? Glenn, a seconder. Judy, all in favor. And Randy, you just raise your hand and we'll see you. Awesome, Randy's in there too. Perfect. Carried. There is no disclosure of pecuniary interests tonight. Nope. Okay. And we're going to move on to the approval of minutes. So there's a recommendation that the minutes of the Municipal Heritage meeting, committee meeting dated June 10th, 2025 be approved as circulated. Can I have a mover? Paul, seconder, Richard, all in favor? Awesome. See Randy, good to go. Perfect. Motion carried. There are no deputations tonight. We're going to move on to our working group reports, which I feel won't have a lot to add in, but some exciting things to come. Our Heritage Recognition Working Group, Glenn Silver, do you have any updates for us?
We haven't had a chance to meet.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Do you want to pop your mic? There's Glenn.
We haven't had a chance to meet, but we will before the next meeting.
Perfect. Sounds great. And Richard for Interpretive Signs and Plaques Working Group. Did you have an update for us?
I'm afraid we have nothing to report either. We have not been active this summer, but we will be meeting sometime shortly, and hopefully to get in touch with the district to see if they will approve the idea of some heritage plaques on the main street in town.
Exciting.
I
Love
hope.
that. Thank you, Richard. All right. Doors Open Working Group. Staff liaison is going to give us an update, and that is Angela.
Thank you. I accidentally deleted all of my notes that I have, so just bear with me as I work through. So the door's open. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to review the Ontario Doors Open Ontario website. All of our sites are now finalized and ready for Saturday, September the 20th. In addition, our student that worked with us during the summer, he made social media posts that were weekly, each week featuring a different site. There's a total of 11 sites. This brochure was just printed last week, the print copy. We have many copies. If anybody would like copies, they will be distributed throughout town at various areas, including all of the sites, as well as places like the library, the Chamber of Commerce, Sawdust City. So these will be distributed, but for anybody who would like to take, please do, and I have access to more, so I can get as many copies as you would like. We do need to finalize the volunteer schedule. The one site that is thoroughly lacking is the steamships. Randy, you had indicated that you might be available for that. Is that still an option?
I guess because Segment's sailing again, but I guess we have it for part of the day. I'm not sure at this point. Can you confirm that?
So I'll let Mary speak to that. My understanding is that it's available for when it's not sailing. It's only available during specific hours for docked tours, but I'll let Mary confirm that.
that problem has been fixed. When you're 125 years old, you have holes in your boiler and pipes and so on. That's been fixed, all approved by Transport Canada. So she has been sailing now for about a week and a half, doing a couple of runs every day. So all is good there. As far as putting people on her for doors open, you need to check with John Miller about that, the manager, because you, first of all, have to have approval, and second of all, he can tell you exactly what time she will be sitting at the dock that the public could go on her. Richard, have you got anything else to add to that?
Can you hear me? Just going by memory, Mary, I think Sigmund will not be sailing on the 20th. I think she's to be running on the day before, but this is just going by memory.
Yeah, that I don't know, but you'll have to phone the boss,
Yes.
John Miller, to find out.
She is to be sailing, I believe, on the 21st.
Okay, well, that's not the day of doors open, so that's.
So in other words, I think she will be at the dock on the 20th.
Right. She'll be at the dock, I'm sure, but
I mean, and not sailing.
yes, okay,
So I'll give John Miller a call
yeah.
and just confirm what arrangement we have and what we can do. I'll take care of that, the phone call.
But there's also Wanda to look at, to her
Yeah.
perhaps, and the workshop that's there.
Okay. So a variety of
My
things.
husband
We'll
kind
make
of
sure that.
heads up that workshop, but sorry, we're going to be in Vancouver that day.
You're
So
away,
that's not
yeah.
gonna work, but there's other guys that can do it. Can show
Okay.
people the workshop that they use to support the ships, yeah.
Great,
Okay.
thank you. I think Angela was going to finish up a little bit more.
I have a lot more to
a
say,
lot more.
sorry.
Great.
Sorry. So one of the other things that that I would like is one person to be, I'll call it a runner, who's available to check on the different sites, provide breaks to people who are scheduled to be there all day. So we can, I don't know if anybody's interested in doing that. I'm committed to a site here, but I will be the contact person and will provide my cell phone number for any problems on that day. But it would be good to have a runner. The signs just arrived today. So this is this year's signs that are consistent throughout Ontario. And they include, this year's sponsor is the TD Bank. So they're included on these signs. In addition, we have leftover signs from the last time, which we'll use to supplement. So the purple signs will be available at the sites. We'll also reuse the yellow signs for advertisement, basically. Anyone who is volunteering, if you didn't keep your purple volunteer shirt from the Ontario Heritage Conference, we have some here, so just, we can deal with this after the meeting. There will be an email going out to everybody with expectations for the day, including keeping track of the number of visitors. There are certain statistics we have to keep for the province as a whole, and it helps with understanding tourism and uptake of the program. Just bear with me. Lindsay had asked me about the moving the sign that's at Gull Lake Park. It will be done before doors open, and the plan has changed due to logistics and the stability, as well as putting it in the most visible place. It's going to be mounted on the side of the canteen building. So that will be happening before doors open on the 20th. And there will be a media piece by CTV News. They'll be interviewing the fire chief, Jared Cayley, and they're specifically interested in the fire station site, and he can promote other areas of Doors Open as well. And I feel like there was one more thing, but I can't remember. So lots of work going on and lots of work that still needs to happen.
Thank you, Angela. So after the meeting, people can touch base and sign up to help, get shirts. The signage, do we as volunteers take that signage to our place, or is it going to be there when we get there?
The signs will be up and installed. We will be utilizing our new student, our co-op student, to assist with that. So that will be all done prior to the day.
Fantastic. Does anyone have any questions for Angela about Doors Open? Judy?
Angela, what time are we to be at our site? I've forgotten already.
So most sites are operating from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Judy, you and I can talk about this train station and how you'll get in there
Right.
as well.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Angela about Doors Open? Carol Ann?
I offered to be a runner as well as a break-ing person. Okay? Okay.
Thank you, Carol Ann. Yeah, she's going to give us breaks, which is great. Thank you. Any other questions for Angela? Great. All right, we're going to go on to the last working group report, which is the 150th Severn Bridge Fall Fair Signage Working Group, which, guess what, guys? I don't know if you went, but the sign is up. Very exciting. Yes, it is. It's lots of social media posts about it, which is fantastic. It looks beautiful. I went and had a look at it, and Paul got to peek at it too. Did you look at it when you were there? They've sent us a thank you card. So I'm just going to read that. So lovely. And I'll leave it up here for people to read. It says, Municipal Gravenhurst Heritage Committee, thank you for all your help, dedication, and passion for our 150th Fall Fair. The tripod panel display is beautiful, full of history, memories, and facts over the last 150 years from the Severn Bridge Agricultural Society. So they really like it, which is great. So if anyone out there would like to go and check it out, it's at the Severn Bridge Fall Fairgrounds, which is part of our Doors Open. So you can see that when you go for the Doors Open tour, which is very exciting. So I feel like, how do we dissolve the working group? Because now we've accomplished it. So how do we do that? Do I make a motion to dissolve? I don't think it's necessary. Or we just take it off as a working group? Okay. Judy has something she wants to say.
Because I wanted to mention, and I know that Lindsay won't, that the 3 panels that are up there were largely due to very hard work by Lindsay putting it all together. I know that the town staff eventually, coordinated it and so on, but Lindsay designed and inserted all the information, so thank you.
Oh, yes, and a huge thank you to Leanne. She did such a great job taking our information and reorganizing it and making it beautiful, and it's stunning. So if you do get a chance to go check it out, it's amazing. It's just right when you go on the property to the left, so really cool. I'm excited to make some more around town, yes. It's gonna be great. All right, we don't have any other reports. We have no unfinished business. All right, there's some new business, though. So it says Wheelhouse Information Update by our staff liaison. Oh, Mary is here. Mary's going to do it. Oh, and Paul wants to say something, too. Okay,
Is Paul first?
sure.
I do have some new business, but it came in too late to get included.
Oh, okay, we can add it to the next agenda.
To
Does
the
that work?
next agenda?
Yeah.
Can I do it today?
Usually we add it to the next one. Does it have to do with one
It
of
has
the
to
working
do
groups?
with the Heritage Award, the Build Heritage Award.
We'll put that through our working group. So when we meet, we'll talk about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was hoping to get it done just so we can get moving forward and get the plaque actually presented.
Oh,
and
perfect.
Signed.
Did somebody come
Yeah,
forward?
someone did. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect. Mary, do you mind if we just,
Oh, fine.
we'll come back to this. Perfect. So Paul has been working and getting out information for Built Heritage Awards, and somebody's reached out. Fantastic. That will be part of the Heritage Recognition Working Group. We're just kind of bumping back up there. And that's going to be the Built Heritage Award. So we do have the signage.
Yeah.
And then we just need to set a date with, yep,
Signage,
Yep.
I had this at home, which I was hoping
Perfect.
would pass as a stand.
awesome. That's great.
And I told the lady, her name is Dawn Dawson, and it's 325 McPherson Street. And she would be very happy to put up a sign.
That's fantastic. So we will set a date and then we'll do some photos with her. Great. We'll chat with Angela maybe after and we'll come up with some timing.
It's great.
That's great.
Yep.
Yay, amazing. Thanks, Paul. Oh, perfect. Sounds great. Thanks, Paul. Mary's gonna share about the wheelhouse information. You just have to press, just gotta press your button again. It's disappeared and then, there you are.
Okay. I'm testing everybody's memory. When you look at the Discovery Center from the parking lot, on either side of the front door, there are wheelhouses left over from the ships from a long time ago. And they've been there for many years, many, many years. And last year, no, a couple of years ago, this group of guys that volunteer to fix things for steamships painted them, and they'll never be as good as they were before, but at least they represent the steamship business. However, in the winter time, when the town employees clean the sidewalk, they blow stones on them. So now the paint's all off again. So I'm looking, I guess, I shouldn't have to even look, but for permission, I'm going to approach both John Miller, the general manager, and Wendy, the manager of the Discovery Center, and have them both write a letter, emphatic letter, to the town asking their employees not to ruin our wheelhouses. So I'm asking your permission for me to do that as a member of the committee. By the way, they've both been designated, right, Richard? Yes, yeah, all right, yeah. I don't know whether I have that, I don't know.
Have they been touched up? The paint needs to be touched up?
Oh, it's beyond touched up. It's like they all have to be sanded down and there's days of work. They'll get it done and there's no money involved.
Okay,
So, because the labor's free and I don't know, we'll find money for the paint someplace, yeah.
okay.
But these letters might be quite emphatic to the powers above here, because we're saying, send your workmen out to clear the snow, but don't you dare blow stones on the wheelhouses to ruin them all the time.
Okay, I think Randy wants to answer this, which is great. Thanks, Randy. I don't know why it's red. Sorry, we can't hear you, Randy. Just wait a sec. We're gonna see if we can fix it.
No,
Oh, nope, it's gone again. And,
it was my fault. I had my mic on mute.
oh, there
Sorry.
you go. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just saying, I think we can do this administratively now that we're aware of it. I'd like to hear from Angela, but I think we just pass on that information through, to infrastructure and let them know that this is a concern. Rather than, formal letters or whatever. As I say, I'd like to hear from Angela if that sounds reasonable to her as our staff liaison. But yeah, now that we're aware of that, I think we can just pass on that message and make sure that doesn't happen.
Yes, I've certainly noted it down and am happy to do that. And if that's not appropriate, then I can report back at the next meeting.
Okay, that's fine.
That sounds great. Was there any more information about the wheelhouse information, or is that's it? Okay. Richard, did you have something you wanted to add? I can put your mic on. Oh, it disappeared. Can you click it again? There we go.
Sorry, Madam Chairman, I was just about to offer to propose a motion to support Mary's request for letters.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's perfect that Angela's going to take that to those who need to know, and we'll get information back from her. So that's fantastic. Thank you, Angela. All right, we're going to move on to the second section of the new business, which is the MHC 2026 budget process. I think Angela's going to speak to that.
Thank you. So just thought it might be helpful. I know there's always lots of questions about how much money is available in the MHC budget and what the costs are in conjunction with various proposals, typically signs. And other than conference attendance, I would suggest that there hasn't been an issue to date with covering the projects that have been proposed through the MHC budget. With that said, you will recall that staff on a number of occasions have strongly recommended putting together a comprehensive long-term signage plan so that appropriate funds can be dedicated should council deem that to be an appropriate expenditure. And when I'll speak a bit more, but Randy may have some other things to add about this subject. As it stands right now, the proposed MHC budget for 2026 is the same as it has been for the last 5 years, which is $1,250. And I would reiterate that even though sometimes the MHC budget does not cover the entire costs of sign projects over the year, which includes installation, there has always been the ability to cost share with other town departments. But we would recommend that you think about what you want to accomplish in 2026 and bring that back for a discussion and a decision by MHC in October. And the reason we're saying October is, well, there's a couple of reasons. In speaking with the town's deputy treasurer, or he has indicated that he would be able to come to this Heritage meeting in October and can answer specific questions if there is a project or projects that are desired. And then if it's thought that the costs for that, for whatever projects you want to accomplish in 2026 will be more than $1,250, there's the option to request a deputation to the Committee of the Whole on October 21st to request additional funding. And the reason these dates are important is the entire 2026 budget could potentially be approved by council in November. So, and again, I don't know, Randy, Councillor Jorgensen may wish to jump in at any time, but just to give an idea about costs, so most recently, the 3 panels that were just done for the Severn Bridge Agricultural Society, the cost of those panel printing was just under $400 for the 3 panels, plus adding in materials. And the material cost is a guess because the invoice hasn't been received yet, but I would suggest around $300, $350. The post-installation, again, installation is always a big cost, was a joint effort of the Severn Bridge Fall Fair Board, as well as the town's infrastructure staff, who were fortunately available. And I would just also point out, when talking about signs, consistency. As you know, the most recent panels that have been prepared in the last few years, they're all approximately 2 feet by 3 feet. I think everybody agrees they're working. And so it's important to keep consistency in mind. So I'm not sure if Councillor Jorgensen might want to add something as well.
Thanks, Angela. Yeah, so I guess but you answered part of my question. What is the cost, say, of the Severn Bridge one to did the committee bear that cost already? But it sounded like it was a joint effort there. But the other thing I'm wondering is whether or not it might make sense to apply for some of the tourism dollars from tourism graveners, which is collected through the municipal accommodation tax. Given that we're hoping that this heritage signage is also a tourism draw, so that just another venue I was thinking. But I think in line with what you're suggesting, we probably want to say, well, we'd like to do 3 or 4 of these a year. I don't know, is that or whatever number it is, and each one costs X, and cost it out and come up with a number for budget purposes. I guess that's what we're looking at.
So one of the things that had been discussed previously is whether there be a separate signage, interpretive sign line in the budget that, so I'm not sure if you have any insight into that. Councillor Jorgensen?
Yeah, I mean, I feel we, like, in terms of the entire town, the wayfinding signs and whatnot, they have been updated along the way, and I don't know if there's we're done with that, or if it's an ongoing thing, and whether our heritage signs would fall under that kind of that budget line, if you will. But again, I think what we need to do is how many in a year do we think that we're going to be able to accomplish, or would like to, and come up with I think we have a pretty good ballpark figure on what it costs to do one, because we've done several of those recently, and figure out how many we think we could accomplish in a year as part of that working group. Does it sound reasonable? I don't know.
I'll just, in response to Councillor Jorgensen's question about the MAT funding, this committee has benefited from that in the past, where there's a shortfall in the installation of signages, then that has been used, and again, because of the tourism benefits.
Thank you for looking into that for us, which is great. Is there anything else we wanted for the budget process?
I think it's just important to come to October prepared to prepared to decide what sort of program you would be looking at for 2026, and really have that in mind, and that will, you can let me know if you want me to invite the Deputy Treasurer to be here, but he'll need to be looking at specific, he would want to have an understanding of specific numbers and specific project.
Great, okay. So the working groups need to come up with a number or a proposed number of what they want to accomplish for the remainder of for 2026. Okay, for 2026 budget by next October meeting, which is on the 14th of October. Great. Does anyone have any questions for Angela? No, I think she answered everything. That's great. Correspondence, we had our lovely note from the Severn Bridge Agricultural Society, so that's lovely. We read that. All right. I think that was it. That was a very quick meeting. My goodness. All right. We're going to adjourn. So can I have a motion to adjourn? Great. So that's going to be Paul. A mover, a seconder. Richard, all in favor? That's Randy, perfect. Motion carried. So our next meeting date is Tuesday, October 14th at 4:30. And come with some ideas for budget for your small groups. Great.